Thank you for tuning into the devotions. Okay, all this week, we're talking about generosity, living a life of generosity. Realizing it would change everything if you realized when you were going to work, you weren't going to work for you, but you were going to work to take care of your family. Going to work, making extra money so that maybe you can help your mom or helping people in need. But number one, that you are putting God first in your finances. Giving to Him off the top, up front, in the proper order. That you love the Lord, you're giving to Him. That's what we're talking about this last weekend. Now, as we're looking at a life of generosity, I want to ask you, where's your heart? Where is your heart? The Bible is very clear about this. Matthew 6:19. It says, do not lay up for yourselves treasures on the earth, where moth and rust destroys and where thieves break through and steal, but lay up for yourselves treasures in heaven, for neither moth nor rust will destroy and thieves cannot break through and steal. For where your treasure is, that is where your heart is also. That's where your heart is. So, I tell people, people say, well, Pastor Mike, we're going into camp season. The kids are getting out of school. We will see you sometime in September. Now, when they go to camp, they don't go to church or anywhere. Okay, at most, maybe they watch online. That's better than nothing. Okay, or they do nothing. I have people, they go to church maybe once a month. They, sports are more important. Making some extra money is more important. Listen, whatever you put before God is more important. That's where your heart is. There's no way that you can say that is not true. Okay, discontentment is never satisfied. I'm kind of shocked at people that are spending tons of money to buy that new home in their 50s. Okay, now, if you can afford it, that's okay. But they go for a 30-year mortgage. You're going to be in your 80s. I was dealing with a lady, 80 years old. She was maxed out in credit, perfect credit. Barely could pay her bills. 80 years old. Listen, you don't want to be that person. Okay, and couldn't give to God. Most people can't give to God because everything they're financing is too expensive. It's too rough, but they're putting other things before God. Look at 2 Timothy 3:4. Treacherous, reckless, swollen with conceit. This is really strong language. Talk about bad people today. They are lovers of pleasure rather than lovers of God. Now, we have people that go to church. Their name are on a membership. They attend pretty regular. But most things in life are more important than God. Thank God they're coming to church. But they don't have time for Bible study. There's no way they could give him. In fact, it makes them mad when we talk about giving. We always say that's the devil working on you because he doesn't want you to have your best. And you'll be ashamed one day. Listen, you don't want to live that kind of lifestyle. Okay, at most, you're going to live 100 years on earth. That's a long time at the most. But you will spend forever in eternity. So, doing things for eternity is the most important thing. Not in this life. Things we do in this life, they're fine as long as God is number one. And others are before yourself. Look at Matthew 16:26. What's going to profit a man if he gains the entire world and forfeits his own soul? What shall a man give in return for his soul? Now, I'm telling you, that's a really scary verse of Scripture because there's a lot of Christians. They don't put God first. They don't even try. They don't try to put God first in their finances. In fact, they don't want to hear about any kind of sacrificing for God. So my question is this. Are you ready? Are they a Christian? I don't know. I don't know. It's scary. It's really scary. Listen, you want to live a life of generosity. You want your life to honor and glorify God and to make Jesus the most important person in your life.